Hey, and welcome to NFP9, the Flower Girls collection. Now, as you can see from the changelog, I have had to do very little to this, as a matter of fact, because in the words of Todd Howard, it just works, TM. So what do you need for this to just work? You need NFP1 tools and NFP3 bodies and basic clothing, or you can install your own bodies. They don't even have to be Hembo and 3BA for this collection. So you just need NFP1 tools and some type of body mods, otherwise the scenes aren't going to make very much sense, are they? Now with that out of the way, let's hit Add Collection. Alright, when you get to this point, don't just hit Install Optional Mods, we need to hit View. Now the first thing you'll notice is I need to take this XP32 out. Because XP32 is something you need to install whenever you're installing bodies. So I am actually going to remove this from this collection. I'm going to do a quick update for that. But anyway, let's look at the other things. You have the Amorous Adventures guidebooks. Now, Amorous Adventures for Flower Girls did come with this. So these are just books that are in Helgen Keep. They'll be in a chest on a table. And they just kind of walk you through step by step how to do the Amorous Adventures. They also look really nice on bookshelves. So you got Flower Girls More Adventures, which just adds more things you can do with Flower Girls, honestly. It's not a bad mod to install. Now, it does say optional since it requires USSEP. Well, that's because USSEP is now in NFP1. That's one of the reasons I said you need NFP1. That and there's some physics and mechanics mods you need that are included in there. Flower Girls NPC relationships just lets the NPCs kind of do NPC things together, you know what I mean? Helgen Reborn Flower Girls patch. Now I'm actually going to be skipping this one because I don't have Helgen Reborn installed right now, but if you have Helgen Reborn, go ahead and install that one. Now, Romance of NPCs, this is the version without immersive winches. Now, you could go to this mod page and get the immersive winches version if you want, if you plan on installing immersive winches, which is included in the Homes and Followers collection, which would be NFP 13. So that's just something to bear in mind there. Loyal Maid enables you to hire a maid. You need to give a ring to a woman with the sultry voice type, and she will be your personal maid. Now what I am going to do is I'm going to put this this More Adventures, that's going to be a base mod, so that will no longer be an optional mod, since NFP1, which contains USSEP, is now a requirement for this collection to work. I am also going to remove XP32 as an optional because that is something you should install when you are installing your bodies. It's also something that comes with NFP3, so having it here is a little redundant. You know what I mean? It's just kind of silly. So I have a file conflict. Let's look. Is it something here? Oh, it's my Skyrim cheat engine interfering with the animation selector. Let's see. So I'm going to make sure this animation selector works right. So I'm going to actually load it after the cheat engine, even though that's suggested before. I'm more worried about my animation selector working properly, so I'm going to load it after. Now, you did just get some animations, so before you load into your game, you do need to run your animation engine. This collection should work with Fness, it should work with Nemesis, it should also work with Pandora. You can use any of the 3 animation engines you want. It doesn't have to be Pandora. So run your animation engine, deploy your mods, and then I will see you right after character creation so we could talk about the MCMs a little bit. So welcome to the MCM. Now not all of these came with the collection, we're only going to talk about the ones that did. We'll start with Come effects, and that's just how long it stays on the body before it disappears. Let's talk about the animation selector. So you could ask whether to use furniture or always use beds. So you got a few options in here that you can tinker with if you want. During a scene, if you want to change positions here, or right before a scene, I'm sorry, you can invoke the selector menu. It's the left shift key, it says right there. Now for Flower Girls, there is something here. You can allow a female and a male role if you have Futa characters. So that's something, and then you just turn off the strap-ons, turn that on, and boom, you're good to go. So if you got Futa, you would probably set it up just like that. That's how I'd do it. anyway. Then you can change your preferences down here. You have more smooching if you want. Whether or not to strip them, the sound effects going on. You can find more animations to add to this. Now this says requires Papyrus Util. Papyrus Util is included in NFP1 tools. Flower Girls does not like to recognize it, so what we're going to do is we're going to go to Mod Options, and we're going to restart it. Then we're going to close our MCM, and we're going to wait until the alert in the top left tells us it's restarted. Alright, now that we've gotten the alert, we can go back into the MCM, back into Flower Girls, back down here, and you can see the FreeCam hotkey is now enabled. So that's all it was. It just needed a minute to be like, oh yeah, you do have Papyrus Util. So that's how you get that to behave itself. Romance of NPCs, that's included with Flower Girls. This is just what are the chances of it finding NPCs getting busy. And here you can allow gay relationships, your followers to have relationships, elder people to have relationships. So that's all of your MCM options. Now obviously I'm not going to be able to show everything on camera, but we can go peek around a little bit. Now you should have gotten a couple spells. You got Bewitch, which will let them act like a prostitute. You got Fornicate, so you can cast it on 2 NPCs and just kind of make them go at it. You got Pleasure Self, that's what it does on the box, or you can enable Seduction.
Warm beds.
Bewitch, and we'll use that on Sadia.
If it's worth it, Hulda's the one to talk to.
And she's bewitched.
If you need more food or drink, hello. Let me know if you want anything. A little coin always greases the wheels. How can I argue with that?
We drink to our youth, today's come and gone, for the age of aggression is just about done.
They're making hand puppets. Yep, nice hand puppets. That's exactly what's going on.
There's a house for sale, Breeze Home. You should talk to the steward up in the keep if you're interested.
Oh look, cast a spell to make them make puppets too. They're making puppets in the middle of the street. That's what the Fornicate spell does. Make puppets. That's what we're doing here. We're making puppets. Summon a couple different cities.
Yes? It's...
I think it's Missacia here, actually.
Hello. Let me know if you want anything. A little coin always greases the wheels.
Yes, I think it's Missacia. And you have a lot of options here.
It is a shame, though. Nobody
But you will
wants
find
to have
Flower
any
Girls in
fun
most major
with you.
cities. And you saw that the spells you get work. So you got the nice Flower Girls. It's for making hand puppets that hold baskets. Yeah, that's it. So anyway, let's go back to Vortex and we'll talk about Flower Girls just a little bit more, okay? So if you go here to Flower Girls SE and VR main file, right-click it and open it on Nexus Mods. You can see it's still up, and you got mods using this mod. There are 244. Some of them obviously were included. But there is a lot more than what is included in this collection. I basically just gave you a starter pack. So you can go here and you can actually add to this a lot if you want. You can give them SMP hair, and there's all kinds of things you can add to Flower Girls. What you have is essentially a starter pack of Flower Girls that you can build on if you would like. So I'm going to make those couple of small revisions to the collection itself. So I'm going to move this More Adventures is going to be a required mod since USSCP is included in NFP1 and that is a required collection for this to work right. I'm also going to remove XP32 because if you have bodies installed, you should already have XP32, so that's kind of redundant. But that's the only change I'm about to upload to this. Anyway, I hope you enjoyed this collection, and I hope you have yourself a good day.